Hey, what's up, bootstrappers? Ryan Nickel coming at you with another Motivational Monday. All right, so today's topic is do not let comfort rob you of getting what you want. Now, that's a tough one because we just got out of the holidays. It's now, but we didn't just get out of the holidays. It's February. It's the first Monday in February 2019. What's up, Ron? Carpe diem, seize the day. That's exactly right. That's what we're talking about today, is seizing the day. So, looking back, I'm looking at my, what's up, Christina? I'm looking back at my December, and December was a fabulous month. December was a banner month for us. We made more money in December than we have ever made, and it was amazing. However, the money that we made in December, we cashed the checks in December. That's when we actually got paid. We actually didn't make the money then. We made the money way back when we actually acquired the property. I acquired this property, I think in August is when actually I had the rights to the property, when I actually owned the property. And it wasn't, and I actually didn't track it down until March. So almost, what is that? Like 9 months. It's almost like having a baby. And I just completely got comfortable. I'm like, man, I got this huge payday coming. Now it might not have happened. Actually, it was supposed to happen in November, and it didn't. It happened in December. There were some title issues that we had to clear up, but we got them all worked out. But here's my point. Because mentally, I knew that I could take my foot off the accelerator. I did. And I let up on my marketing. I let up on my on my follow-up, all of that. And what happens is my comfort level robbed me of getting what I want. And what is it that I want? Well, I want to increase my cash flow holdings. I have 17 properties right now, and I want to get to, actually the number of properties that I get to doesn't really matter. What I'm looking for is my goal, my number. Right now we're at, what's up, Carolyn? We're at $4,500 a month. We were at $6,700 last year. Between selling some and losing one in the fire, we are down to $4,700 a month in cash flow. My goal is to get up to $10,000. And so it doesn't matter how many properties it takes to get there, but that's my goal. But however, I've become extremely comfortable in my financial circumstances that I'm like, oh man, I got to really step this game up. And so here's what happens is when you get comfortable comfortable like economically, financially, you start to lose your edge in your business and you start to lose stuff financially. So because I'm comfortable financially, I'm also losing money financially. Here's some case in points to prove this point. I saw a property that I wanted to pick up, and I went to go knock on the door, or I didn't even knock on the door. I was doing some research on the property, and I found out that this property had just sold. And I'm like, what? It just sold? And it sold to just, a random person. Oh, this is exactly what happened. I'm in my mind, there's like 4 or 5 scenarios that I have that are all like over and over that teach me this lesson. But here's the one that's the most clear and the most recent. So Friday evening, I'm driving home, and there's a house that I've noticed, and I've noticed this house for about 2 months now. The grass is slowly getting longer and longer and longer. And about a week and a half ago, there was like stuff strewn out all over the yard. I'm like, man, either they're getting evicted or something's going crazy over there. And then earlier in the week, so probably about Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, I see this big box truck. No signs on it, nothing like that, just a box truck, and the guy's loading up like Tupperware containers full of stuff. And like knick-knacky stuff. Like, I'm like, maybe he's like I was thinking to myself, like, trying to rationalize this. I'm like, oh, maybe this guy's like a Salvation Army donation truck or something like that, and they're just going around picking up stuff, and this person's just, doing that. And it probably could happen. I don't know. So then Friday night, it's 5 o'clock, and I only see this house when I'm driving to go home. And so I drive by, and it's 5 o'clock, and the light's on, and this time there's like all this stuff on the porch. There's a mattress out on the lawn, and I can see a lady in there. Her door's open, and she has like screen door open, the light's on. I can see her. She's in there like doing all kinds of crazy stuff, moving around. And I'm like, oh, dang it, it's 5 o'clock. My wife already has dinner on the table. She wants me to be home at 5. I can't do this. So I pulled over, and I text my wife. I say, hey, I'm going to be home closer to 5:15. And before I even get out of the car, I get this sad face, and I'm like, oh man. So again, comfort. I'm like, I'm comfortable. I know my routines. I know what's happening. So I go and I knock on her door. And before I even can raise my hand, she's coming to the door and she's like, hey, how can I help you? Like, super friendly lady. She's an older woman. And I said, hey, this house wouldn't happen to be for sale, is it? She's like, oh, I've been wanting to sell this house for the last 10 years. I just never put a sign out in the yard. But I sold it. And I'm like, really? When? She's like, just recently. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really joking me right now? She's like, no, yeah, I've been wanting to sell. And some guy came up, knocked on my door, and just asked me if I would sell it. And I said, I gotta know, how much did you sell this house for? She's like, oh, as much as I bought it for. I bought it 10 years ago for $75,000, so I sold it for $75,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And this house needs some work, but all fixed up. This house is low twos, high ones. And it's on an older established neighborhood, good street. The neighbors next door, but on both sides have just immaculate properties. This is kind of like the eyesore. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, okay, totally cool, happy for her. I'm glad that worked out, But I go back and I look and I'm like, crap, you know what? What did I learn here? I became comfort. I didn't become comfort. I became comfortable, and it robbed me of getting what I wanted. And so this just didn't just happen February 1st. Going back to November and December, that house has always been there. The house has been on my radar for a couple of months now. But I wasn't uncomfortable enough to get out of my comfort zone, or I wasn't challenged enough. Like when I was struggling, when I had the fear of God in me that I had to go and produce for my family, man, I was out there. I was uncomfortable as uncomfortable could be. I was knocking on doors. I was cold calling. I was doing whatever it took to get some money into my doors, into my coffers, to be able to provide for my family. And because I got a little comfortable, I've totally allowed for myself to miss opportunities. Now, this is just one of many opportunities. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of them that I've been chasing down, that I've just been, the old saying, a day late and a dollar short. Well, that's really coming true in because of my lack of being consistent in my marketing. It comes down to systems and things like that. There are other things that I'm putting into place. Follow-up may not close. I already have. What he ended up doing was giving her a 60-day lease back. So it did close. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, definitely, definitely want to, follow up and do everything you can. But yeah, this one did close. And yeah, he was smart. He closed it when he could. I mean, at $75,000, he closed on that sucker. He made it happen super fast. And then he's like, hey, I'll give you 60 days. I'll lease it back to you. You can take your time getting rid of stuff. And of course, February 1st, her 60 days are up, and so she's dumping all this stuff out of the house. She's just getting all this stuff, getting rid of everything. So I guess she had this weekend to clear it out, and that was it. So but moral of the story is, yeah, okay, so let's say it didn't close. I would follow up, of course. Moral of the story is, be uncomfortable, guys. Get as uncomfortable as you can get to make some money in this business. Some of you are afraid to reach out to somebody and door knock, and that's okay. You know what? Some of it's a personality thing too. So, you may not be an outgoing personality. Well, you know what? But you might be the analytical type that's going to, hide behind a computer. And I don't say that, maliciously, like you're hiding. It's just, that's what you do. You're good. You hang out behind a computer and you research and you do all that stuff. Unfortunately, I'm good at both. Y'all can't be me. But that's okay. Play to your strengths. Partner with someone that is willing to go and knock on doors, and you supplying with the leads, and you do what's good. And you can make money in this business, but just do not sit there and do not let opportunities pass you by, because that's unfortunately the thing. Here, I'm going to pass this house by. We're going to go buy this house right now. Oh, hey, I know y'all wanted to see my big old fat hand. All right, so we're going to go right now past this home. I'll show you the right here. So you can see these kind of this is a huge old house. This is a 10,000 square foot house. This is an old historical home, and here's a house here. Here's another house. You can see these are nice homes in this neighborhood. And let's go across the street here. So here's another house that's in larger home. We got a little Tudor home here. Or it's Craftsman bungalow actually. And then we get to these little ones right here. These small little houses. This guy here. We got this 2-story right here, and then whoop, there we go. 828. This little guy. Let's see if we can zoom in on you. No, let me zoom. All right. So that's the one that could have been. You never know, other than letting it be a something to. There we go. Let's fix this better. All right. Make sure I'm not just like jutting in the traffic here. So yeah, get out there, make stuff happen, and just make sure you're not using the excuse of being comfortable. That is one old bike. It matches the guy driving. All right, that was one grizzly dude on an old bike, man. But tell you what, he's not letting comfort ruin his style. He's going out there and he's doing whatever he needs to do in a bike like that. So, all right, guys, get out there, make some money, make some calls, do whatever it is that you've been neglecting to do because of comfort. And just remember, you're one deal away from changing your entire financial future. All it takes is that one deal, and then another deal, and another deal, and another deal, and eventually you have this, great portfolio. I'm gonna go, guys. Get out there, crush it, and remember, comfort is the destroyer of profits.